Here we go again, once again. Man, it just so amazes me. Like all the times where Son of Hightower used to go out around Portland, like TriMet, the fair enforcers, he used to always hear to say, make sure you pay your fare. You don't want to get shot over $2.50 fare. Oh, yeah. Or around here, you don't want to get body sent for a $2.75 fare around here. Usually, if you skip your fare or you try to fare evade, it's a $124 fine. But it's so crazy to get cops are trigger happy, one to unalive people over $2 and change fare on a bus, light rail, or the subway. Well, we got one right here. Check it out. Cops shoot another officer, bystanders on subway over skip fare. Here we go again. Like I said, here, let's do it up.
Cop gets so gun crazy, he shoots at a person for $2 and some change on the subway. Ends up shooting another cop, injuring another cop, and injuring other bystanders for $2 and some change. Put up the picture full mask here. This is your guy in charge. So this is going to be a hell of a story, but
Yep.
indicative of the culture. Okay, police shot at a man they say committed the high crime of evading the subway fare. Shot at him. This was at the Sutter Avenue L.
Yeah, shot at him at a person that's that skips some fare. There's a reason why some transit system had just got rid of paying fare. You can ride for free. It's fare free. Inner city transit has done, which I'm going to go down to Olympia later this month or next month. I'll take a day. I'll go down there. Mason County Transit has evaded it. Grace Harbor has done fare free. Island Transit has fare free. Jefferson and Clatham County has done away with fare. And people, and I've talked to my other transit former friends, you say, and we all talk about that they should do away with fare because, it's so complicated trying to enforce our $2 and some change fare. I mean, and I look at the statistic on how much revenue a transit system gets off of people paying their fare. It's not even 10%, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the revenue that a transit system gets, public transportation, gets it from government, other revenues, advertisement, or in the street. People paying the fare don't even make it 10%. Most of it's revenue from the government. It's over 80% of it. I mean, someone not paying a $2 some change fare. I mean, in this day and age, you got people that are so broke who can't even afford. And people's like, well, if you can't afford it, then walk. Yeah, well, what if a person has to go to the job or appointment? Has to go point A to point B in 6 miles. You expect the person to walk 6 miles? That's a 2-hour walk.
Train station in Brownsville this Sunday afternoon, injuring him along with an officer and 2 others, according to the NYPD. One bystander was struck in the head.
Wow.
And listed in critical condition. Police said NYPD Chief of Department Jeffrey Madre said on Sunday that the officers were patrolling the station shortly after 3 p.m. when they observed a 37-year-old man enter the station without paying the fare. The officers followed the man, later identified by a police spokesperson as Daryl Mickles, up 3 flights of stairs, leading to a confrontation. The altercation resulted in injuries to the officer, Mickles, and 2 civilians, a 49-year-old man and a 26-year-old woman, officials said. With millions watching, and the man was struck in the head and in critical condition on Sunday afternoon, while the officer and 26-year-old woman were reported to be in stable condition. Police described Mickles as in stable condition on Sunday, but on Monday morning said he was in critical condition.
Wow.
Mickles' mother said Monday morning that she first learned of her son being shot from a Gothamist reporter. Madry said that in the Sunday incident, Mickles threatened the officers when they asked him to stop. According to them, at one point on the platform, the suspect said, quote, "I'm going to kill you if you don't stop following me."
Wow.
This is what the guy in charge said at a press conference later on Sunday evening. Okay, so take it as you will. The officers instructed Mickles to remove his hands from his pocket, suspecting he had a knife, according to what the chief said. Quote, the suspect challenged the officer, saying, "No, You're going to have to shoot me, according to the chief. When a train entered the station, Mickles boarded and the officers followed, according to the NYPD. They attempted to use their tasers, but these attempts were ineffective, according to the chief. The suspect exited the train and returned to the platform where he drew a knife, according to the chief. At that point, the officers fired multiple rounds, hitting Mickles in the stomach, police said. After he fell to the ground, the officers handcuffed him and began, quote, life-saving measures, according to the chief. That's when one officer discovered a bullet wound near his left armpit, according to the chief. The officers and several bystanders on the platform were injured, the chief said. Additional officers arrived and began administering aid. He said, what has happened? They done shot so recklessly. This cop shot so recklessly, he shot the other cop who was there.
You know, this is not the first story I've done where a cop just brazenly open fires and starts spraying bullets and makes it rain until the clip is empty. I did a story about a couple months ago about supposedly a guy having a mental health crisis and a shoplifter. The cop just started open fire and just started spraying bullets to the point that there was a 14-year-old girl, a teenager, who was at a Burlington Coat Factory. She was trying on a dress in the changing room. And one of the bullets struck her and unalived her on the spot. And people say this cop was so recklessly, he just started shooting at and like that. And here we got another case right here. We just got cops starting trigger happy. They start shooting all over the place until the clip is empty. Trigger happy fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$2.90.
I remember one time Eli, when I talked to him regularly, he was out there filming, you know, the tactical ticket checkers. He said that one time that somebody forgot to pay a $2.50 TriMet Max train fare. He looted the cops, they opened fire, fearing that he had a weapon, which he did not. Killed him on the spot. And I said, that's fucking bullshit. $2.50 fare, and they have to open fire because they thought the guy had a weapon when he did not. And the guy was just trying to get away from the cops. It's ridiculous. Petty fucking crimes, and cops get so trigger happy, and they have to unalive you. It's ridiculous.
Was it worth it? Cause and effect here.
Yeah. Is it worth it?
You know, this would have been a better humanitarian, legal, social, physical.
That's what I've talked about with my friends as well. You know, I was talking to my babe the other night about, we were talking about fares and how they forced the fares so much and like that. Because she said the other day she was on a light rail. She had to go to Linwood. And she had to take a light rail, much easier versus a drive because, you know, traffic. And she said sometimes and it was really mess on I-5's construction, someplace like. So she decided just to take light rail. And she had to get to one of her son's place, older son, because he lives by near Emmons and Linwood. She gets on the light rail, and the next station there's like all these there's all these tactical tickers, you know, checking people's fares like that. And I was telling her, I was like, you know, it's so ridiculous. People make a big stink over fare, cop shooting, and people all this stuff about online. It's so much easier if you just get rid of it, get rid of the fare, make it fare free. Do you know how much easier and smoother it is? I've heard that inner city, down Olympia, they have no problems. None at all. I mean, you occasionally might get a broken bum, but yeah, but it's like, no people are going to big stink about it. That's why a lot of agencies are making it fare free. That's why some, and by the end of the year, are going to make it fare free. Well, you don't have to pay fare. Like I said, that's why inner city, Mason, Grace Harbor, Jefferson, Island Transit, and some small corporated transits in our state are making it fare free because it's much easier that way. Like I said, and how much revenue does a transit system make off of people paying the fares? Not even 10%.
Outcome if you just gave the guy $3.
Or
and
just
put
let
in
it
for a
slide.
reimbursement
Just
at
let
the
it slide. Who
department. So I
cares?
just gave
Yeah.
him about $3. He
I mean,
didn't have money
a whopping
to get on
$3
himself.
fare. Like, wow, that's a huge deal. Make a
Much
scene
better
out of
outcome for
it. It ain't
everybody.
nothing.
So the chief said that the shots fired were believed to have come solely from the NYPD. Nobody else. Just the police shooting the police and everybody else in between. Quote, everyone who was struck this afternoon, we believe, was hit by our officers, the chief said. Witness video obtained by the Journal from adjunct lecturer at John Jay College of Criminal Justice and former NYPD officer Jillian Snyder captures a chaotic scene on the subway platform as people try to get away from the area. It shows a bloody man lying on the floor of a subway car with his hand handcuffed behind his back. 3 officers are seen hurrying to the next car where another person is face down on the floor. A second video shows officers aiding the same man on the floor of a subway car when one officer reaches for his armpit and holds his hand there because he's shot by his own cop.
You know, and there's some, I mean, and the thing about it is that, like, if you ride a transit system and you're a regular, frequent, a person that rides a lot, I mean, you get to know a driver, they'll let you, I mean, they don't give a shit about fare. They'll let you slide like that. I used to hang with my friend Chris back then. I mean, he used to tell me, like, if you ride a school tripper, like one of the special ones, it used to be like $5, $6 for a trip like that. He said if his friend Mike who used to, if he drove it, free. And I said, yeah. My friend Sean used to drive Pierce Transit back in the day. Yeah, when it used to be like $1.50 and $2, $5 all day pass. Sean was driving the bus. He just fucking give me an all day transfer. Say, here you go. You don't have to pay a damn dime. He let me ride for free. See, that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
This marks the second NYPD shooting since Friday, where tasers proved ineffective. On Friday evening, police shot and killed a man inside a Brooklyn apartment. Authorities said they were seeking him in connection with 3 recent homicides. The NYPD's detective squad and its Force Investigation Division will investigate the incident, according to the chief. I don't see how you justify it. I really don't. Because cause and effect matters. The reason why they're engaging this individual in such a way matters. And the fact that when they started shooting, when the gunshot started, they obviously did not have a clear shot. Even if somebody says, oh, it's justified. The guy said, you're going to have to kill me, so it's justified.
I mean, that's the thing, too. How can a cop justify an open fire in a crowded place? You cannot open fire on a crowded platform or subway. People walking around like that. I mean, yeah, if it's just like the suspect hurrying around, yeah, I can make an argument about that. But you cannot make a justifying argument, open fire on a suspect, and there's so many people around. It's crowded. You just don't do that.
You believe that madness. How do you justify them shooting civilians in the process of trying to put down a human being for committing not even a misdemeanor, but a city code violation?
And then the thing about it, it's not a criminal, not even a misdemeanor. It's a civil matter. Civil matter. It's the same thing as when you run a red light and you get a ticket from a cop, probably like $120. That's a civil matter. It's like people who evade a fare. That's a civil matter. That's a $124 fine. That's not a criminal act. That's a civil matter.
David, thoughts here?
I want to see the police body cameras. New York police officers have body cameras. I want to see the footage. If the footage was not recorded, I want to know, well, why didn't one of those officers start recording? Because the moment they start chasing somebody like this, they are obligated to press that button and start recording the interaction. Maybe they didn't record it because they knew that they were up to no good, or they didn't like this guy and they didn't want any recording to exist of them mistreating this person. It is absurd. I mean, in the city of New York, you can now board a bus without paying the fare because there's so many people who are jumping fares. They just decided it's not worth it. It's not worth the sort of danger to your fellow officer.
David makes a point. I mean, that's why I say people evading fare. That's why some transit system just got rid of them altogether. That's one of the big reasons why interstate transit did away with it like that, because you have people trying to skip the fare, evade the fare like that, and they decide it's not a big deal. It's better just get rid of it because they can get revenue from other sources. Like I said, I mean, transit systems don't even make not even a fraction of the revenue from paid fares.
officers to other people in the subway to go guns blazing because somebody jumps the fare to get on the subway and then gives you attitude. If you can't handle anybody giving you attitude and find a way to de-escalate, maybe you shouldn't be a cop in New York City.
That's right.
Exactly. It's the point. Like, if you got police officers, you flip like if somebody you're a cop in there, you get flipped off, or somebody calls you a fat fucking pig, shit like that, and you take it personal, because you're hurting Fifi, something like that. I think it's time for you to find some new employment. All right, I'm out of here. My job. Peace out.